All right, so for this you do, let's go ahead and solve these equations and see what happens. So we'll go here. The first equation is 2x minus 6 equals 4 minus 8x. Well, as I look at this challenge, if I was using my letters here, first thing, let's look at the challenge here. I got a variable on the left-hand side. I got a variable on the right-hand side. I got a variable on the right, I have an integer slash number on the right-hand side, and an integer slash number on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and choose, and I'm going to say variable over here, and number integer over here. So the first thing I want to do is apply an inverse operation. So 2x minus 6 equals 4 minus 8x. I'm going to go plus 8x here. And of course, why? Because I have 8 negatives, I have 8 positives, that puts me at 0. And what we do on one side equal sign, we do on the other. If you go over here, you can go throwback style. 2 plus 8, 10. Or 2 positives, 8 positives, 10 positives. Minus 6 equals 4. So this one will be a letter A. So now that we have 10x minus 6 equals 4, what would I have to do here again? I would have to do an A again, apply inverse operation. But this time not on a variable, but on a number. So I'm going to go. Now why positive 6 here? Because I had 6 negatives. Or 6 minus 6 is nothing. What we do on this side of the equal sign, we do the same thing over here. And the sum of 4 and 6 is 10. FB, baby. Over here, FB. And after that FB, the result is 1. So A, then once again, another A. And then at the end, the E, FB. So if you're looking at your letter chart there, you can see what's happening here. Okay, so that's how we got one on that one. So let's erase. Let's go to the second one, equation B. X minus 5 equals negative 4x. And I want y'all to start noticing my format. The original equation up here, untouched. Then go down here, start putting some work in. So I notice that we have a variable on this side, have a variable on that side. I think once again, I'm going to go ahead and put, I just hate negatives. So I'm going to go ahead and put a variable on this side, an integer number on the right-hand side. So based upon that, what letters at first? A. Apply inverse operation. So I'm going to go O. And of course, if I have 4 negatives, I need 4 powers to get to 0. Or if you think arithmetic, 4 minus 4. And what I do on this side, equal sign, I do the same thing over here. So 4x. Now remember, lo está invisible uno. So keep that in mind, okay? So 1 plus 4 is 5. Or 4 positives, 1 more positive, 5 positives. Minus 5, that equals 0. That's the sign for nothing, so I'm going to leave it there for right now. Looking pretty good. So V. And number on this side, what letter? A, because they do inverse operation. So let's go here. What I'm going to do again, inverse operation. But notice I'm not doing the variables this time. I'm doing the integer slash numbers. 5 negatives, 5 positives, go to 0. 5 minus 5, how you want to see that? What I do on this side, equal sign, I do over here as well. So I have 5x equals 5. Once again, that was an A. Okay, an inverse operation. We are now stuck at the E, FB, baby. So I go over there, eyeball check. What's the coefficient? 5. So I divide by 5. The same thing over here, FB, my 5, wind up here. You already know, invisible una, go over here, wind up 1. So once again, we got a solution of 1. So let's erase this one. Go on to the next one here, equation C. So they kind of give you different styles of equation here. Some with distributive properties, some with not, some with variables and numbers on different sides and whatnot. So our original equation. So then I have 2 times, brackets, the quantity, all this in here, of 1 minus 2x equals x minus 3. So we already know sometimes people can think this is really subtraction. So I like to do a smart cut. Go right there. All right, so then I have, well, 2 times 1, that's 2. And then I have one negative here, negative sign. So that's out of amount, so negative. And then 2 sets of 2, 4. And then my x equals x minus 3. Okay, first letter here in this situation, C. Why? Because we apply distributive property. Well, now I have this one. What can I do? I could go. Hold on for 1 second. Okay. So what I can do now is I can do an inverse operation. Which side do I want the variable to be on? I'm going to say the variable on the right-hand side, and my numbers, integers on the left-hand side. So let's go ahead and hit it with an A. 4 negatives, 4 positives. You already know that puts me back to 0, falls on the number line. Arithmetic, 4 minus 4 is nothing. What I do on this side of the equal sign, I do over here. So my 4x, remember, invisible uno there. And so that's 1, and that's 4. That's going to be 5x. I still have my negative 3 here. I'm going to bring down my 2 because, well, it didn't work with that. So remember, numbers on this side, variables on this side, looking good on the variables, but still got a number over this integer. So I'm going to apply the letter A. Let me put a little A here to remind folks of A here. So I'll go plus 3, because 3 negatives, 3 positives, nothing. Arithmetic, 3 minus 3, nothing. So we go over here, 3 positives and 2 positives, 5. 3 plus 2, 5. You see it that way with the arithmetic. So we go over here. And last but not least, FB, baby. So let's get our E there, do that. And then eyeball check. Coefficient is 5. I divide by 5. There you go. Same thing I do on this side, do over here. Do a little wind up here as well. 1. The value X is also 1 once again. So you can see here the value is 1. Let's go and erase this. Let's take a look at the last one here. We have negative 3 equals 2 minus 5x. All right, so the original equation, that is a 5. Work with Mr. Heath. There you go. So I have negative 3 equals 2 minus 5x. So you see I have a variable on this side, I have a number on the right-hand side, and I have a number on the left-hand side. What I think I'm going to do this time is just keep the variable over there. I know it's negative, but sometimes it's just easier to work with that way. And I'm going to want numbers or integers to be on the left-hand side. So you already know which letter. A, I'm going to do an inverse operation. This time it's going to be in a number here. So 2 positives, 2 negatives. You already know. Puts me to 0, falls on the number line. Arithmetic, 2 minus 2, nothing. What I do on this side, or the right-hand side equal sign, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I did minus 2 over there and minus 3 over, minus 2 over here as well. 3 negatives, 2 negatives, 5 negatives. All right. So then I go over here, and you know what time it is, right? FB baby time. So eyeball check, what do I see? Negative 5, divide by negative 5. It's a terrible negative 5. But work with Mr. Heath. And the same thing I do on this side, I do over here. So I divide it by negative 5. I'm going to divide by negative 5. So notice 1, 2. So I have an even amount of a negative sign, so it's going to be positive. And if I do a wind up, how many sets of 5 are in 5? 1. And let's go over here once again. 1 and 2 negative signs, so that'll be positive. How many sets of 5 are in 5? 1. So that's how you solve those equations to get the answer that you got. And hopefully when you notice that, you realize that no matter how you solve these or whichever terms are in there, or even if that distributed property or not, I still got the value of 1. Okay, so 1 can be a solution to many different types of equations. Basically, is a good way to understand this. Okay.